2014 that there will be 76,100 new cases of melanoma. Melanoma is a very serious form of skin cancer, and it is important to educate and protect yourself. In 2002, I was diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma. Although a less serious type of skin cancer, it was still very scary to hear. Then, in 2011, my mother was diagnosed with metastatic melanoma. I am happy to report that she is cancer-free today. I will be speaking on 3 key points. First, what is melanoma? Second, what are the causes and the risks? And third, how can you protect yourself from this potentially fatal disease? Let's start with what melanoma is. The skin is the body's largest organ. It protects the body from heat, injury, infection, and sunlight. The skin has 2 main layers, the epidermis and the dermis. There are 3 kinds of skin cancer: melanoma, basal cell carcinoma, and squamous skin cancer. Basal cell and squamous cell skin cancer are located on the epidermis. Melanoma is different in that it travels down deeper into the blood, where the blood vessels are located. Melanoma is a form of cancer that begins in melanocytes, cells that contain melanin. How much melanin in your skin determines your skin's color. When melanoma starts on your body, it is called cutaneous because it is only affecting the skin. However, melanoma is more aggressive and anyone can get it. It can grow anywhere on your body, but most commonly found on those areas exposed to the sun, such as arms, legs, back, and face. Melanoma can also be found in areas that don't receive much sunlight, such as the palms of your hand, the soles of your feet, and even in your fingernails. These so-called hidden melanomas occur primarily in the darker-skinned population. Tragically, that is what happened to famous reggae musician Bob Marley. What was dismissed as an old soccer injury in his toenail turned out to be melanoma, and he died at just age 36. If found early and treated, melanoma has a 100% cure rate. However, if it is allowed to grow, it can spread quickly to other parts of the body. When it spreads, it can be deadly. Dermatologists believe that deaths from melanoma would be much lower if people knew the warning signs of melanoma, if they learned to examine their skin for all kinds of skin cancer, and lastly, took the time to examine their skin. The exact causes of melanoma is unclear, but scientists do believe that there is a link between overexposure to ultraviolet A rays, or UVA, and ultraviolet B rays of the sun, and that tanning beds are to blame. Although those with a fairer complexion may have a higher risk of melanoma, those people with darker skin are also perhaps at a greater risk. You can see from my chart here that the white population does have a greater risk of melanoma because there isn't, again, as much melanin in the skin. The black population has far less, and then I have a graph of the Hispanic population. So why are those with darker skin at an even greater risk? Clearly my chart doesn't reflect that. First, they are not expecting to have any kind of skin cancer show up on their skin because of their olive complexion and darker skin. And secondly, by the time something is found, it has usually been there for far too long, making the success rate of treatment not very good. So how can you protect yourself? I mean, after all this, how can you protect yourself from melanoma? First, use sunscreen with an SPF 30 or greater and apply it at least 20 minutes before going out into the sun. That will allow it time to absorb into your skin. And then limit your time in the sun. Translated, no more laying out. As a native Californian, this is very difficult for me. And if you are out for an extended period, wear a hat or visor and lightweight clothing. Finally, become familiar with your own skin. If you see something unusual, such as a mole that starts to change shape, a sore that won't heal, or anything else that causes you concern, go see a dermatologist. Remember, being familiar with your own skin just might save your life.